All right. This is part 2 of our prophetic conference, August 20th, 2017. This is not to be an offense to anybody. I'm just letting people know. Number one, Trump, the guy that occupies the White House, is a salesman. He's not necessarily a very good businessman in terms of businessman as businessman. For example, he's not like, for example, the guy that is the Secretary of State, Tillerman, is a very nice guy. I don't know where he's from. He's a very nice guy. Speaks softly, carefully. Of course, if you have heard his speech 2 days ago about how the Department of State is going to treat the minorities, you will know that he understands what he's doing. That's an adult. That's a mature person. I'm not here saying that Trump is not an adult. He's an adult. But he's somebody that goes with instinct. He's somebody that doesn't calculate the risk. And that is also the problem with his businesses. His businesses have suffered because of this. But he sees it as a positive thing for him, even if there have been failures in it. So he goes mainly, he doesn't look at the consequences of what he's saying or what he's doing. He just goes with it. And that he feels that, another thing you need to know is that, and he will feel like you should understand that that is who he is. Another thing that is in his principle is, never say you're sorry to any human being. Because if you do that, they will count that as a point of weakness. That's what he teaches in his speeches. You never tell people you're sorry. Mainly, he is a salesman. Not a businessman, but a salesman. And salesmen are good at talking craftily to entice you to buy something. And what Trump is selling is himself. He doesn't have an agenda. There's no agenda whatsoever. The book, when he won the election, God showed me the book. The book is empty. They are filling it as they go along. The book is empty. They are writing it as they go along. There's no agenda whatsoever. Just like Republicans have been crying that they want Obamacare to go. There was no preparation. After Obamacare will go, what will occupy? That's why they cannot get rid of Obamacare. And many of them are very angry at that. Abimelech sized the problem in the country, the vacuum, that his brothers were not strong. They are fighting among themselves. All these women want their children to be in place of their father. He was the only one who could unite one strong group, his mother's people. And Abimelech, when we are reading from Judges chapter 9. And so he went to his mother's people and shook him and said, is it better that all the 70 children of my father rule over you? Or should I not do it? Am I not your flesh and blood? Let's hear what they said. Please read on. Is the reader on with us tonight?
Yes. Remember also that I am your bone and your flesh.
Good. Continue.
His mother's brethren spake of him in the ears of all the men of Shechem all these words, and their hearts inclined to follow Abimelech, for they said, he is our brother.
Okay, so you see, Abimelech went to them and said, I'm like you. My mother is your daughter. Why shouldn't the rulership come to us? And they went and started campaigning for him. That's what happened in American election. Some people accuse Hillary of being a black woman, that he's just white skin, but inside is black. I don't blame them, because there are people who have sized up the problem in the nation, and they went to different groups to tell them things are moving too fast. This nation will change and become too multicultural. In the next few years, Mexicans will be in charge of Texas and California. If you didn't know it, know it. I use this word, I use a slang. They are outborning, that is BORN. They are making more babies than any group in America. So that's why black women, white women, listen. You are going to Planned Parenthood. I know that Planned Parenthood is not just abortion. They have other things they do for free for women and for men. But why do you need to go there when we are not many? I know that the Caucasian race are the most here. Native Americans are very minor. Africans are African American a little bit. Mexicans or people of Spanish descent are going to be more than any other group. Because a lot of people of Caucasian and African descendants are not having children. And now it has been said that people of Caucasian descent in America have very low sperm counts. The men are no longer capable of making women pregnant. Go and look at the statistic. Just come back. Last week I heard it on the radio. And they are talking about abortion. We are not many. America is not many people. And people are talking about abortion should not be what we should give people the opportunity to use to win election. Or gun rights. Or gay things. Those are things of bygone days. You don't use. Europe has passed this stage a long time ago. Everybody in where I come from, we all have our guns. We don't do abortion. There are no gay people, so why is that a problem to me? It's none of my business. So if you are going to Washington because of those three things, that you are against those three things, that's why you are going to Washington, then you don't have any agenda. You are trying to look at issues to use that to win election and go there and get a salary. And that's what Abimelech did. He saw that people were fighting among themselves, they were not united. And that's what Democrats did. They are not united. A lot of Democrats did not come out to come and vote. They said because it's another white lady. It's another white person. So they stay home. Others were bought. So they stayed away. Or they voted for Trump. And what happened? The election was rigged. The election was won. And many things happened. And the permissive will of God died. Because God is not going to force a nation to stop doing what they want to do. Because you're going to pay a price for the choices you've made. That's why when the Israelites came to Samuel and said they needed a king, Samuel was very offended. God said, why are you getting offended? Give them what they want. Moses was offended at the people, that the people were angry at God. God said, I didn't call you to come and fight for me. Go and tell the rock to bring out water for them to drink. Stop trying to fight for God. God doesn't like that. Because you are making God to look cheap. You're trying to tell people, do not drink, do not fornicate, do not do this, do not do that, do not do this. Don't wear this, don't wear that. Did God send you? Those who tried to go and fight for God, including Elijah, you saw what happened to them. God rebuked them. So Abimelech saw the situation and went to seize opportunity. Trump saw the situation in America. The Republicans and Democrats are not ready for business. Because in olden days, Democrats and Republicans work together because every civilization is built by everybody. Civilization is not built by an individual. No nation becomes a nation when individuals are after their own small puny capitalism or socialism or communism, whatever. He saw that Bush gave us war. Obama is trying to get us out of war. And then he came to capitalize on all that has been happening. And then he had other forces behind himself to help him win. Abimelech did the same thing. And people, his mother's people went to Ghana and they began to campaign for Abimelech. Let's hear what they did.
And they gave him 70 pieces of silver out of the house of Baal.
Okay, let me tell you why it was. How many scores? 3 scores?
10.
Okay. Do you know that the children of, do you know why they gave him the 3 scores and 10 pieces of silver from the house of Baal? You know, immediately Gideon died, the people went back to Baal. And of course, he has already introduced them into that before he died anyway. Are you aware? His mother's people went to the house of Baal, Baal Zerid, and they got money from the house of Baal. That's strong. Ha! That is strong! They didn't give him their own money. They gave him money from the shrine of Baal. Which means, if he received money from Baal, means that whether the nation like it or not, he has invoked Baal to give him authority to rule over them. Are you guys getting what I'm saying? That's why they went to the house of Baal to go and get the money from there. The donation people donated to Baal. That's the money. They went and got some money there. And how much money? Tell us in plain English how much money it is. I want to show you something here. Huh?
70 pieces.
70 pieces of silver was taken from the house of Baal and given to Abimelech. How many children did his father has? How many? 70. Gideon had 70, and here Abimelech was 71. Who knows how many other children were out there? So why did they give him 70 pieces of silver from the house of Baal? Each silver stand for, it means that they went to the house of Baal and they called on each of the 70 children, each of the 70 of his father's sons were invoked. They called them all up. They called up their spirit. They sacrificed them before they killed them. They gave them over to Baal for Baal to destroy them. That is the money that was used to destroy them ahead of time. For each person was 1 piece of silver. And let's see what they will do with the money. Because when a destruction is about to happen, money is going to play a part. And let me tell you right here, if there is anybody who is troubling your life, call me. I will tell you what to do. If you pleaded with the people to leave you alone and they refuse, well, I'm very pity for those kind of people. Because something will happen to any human being who refuses to leave you alone. And any human being who refuses to leave your nation alone and decide to sacrifice a nation at the altar of Baal or sell. What Abimelech and his people did was They sold the 70 children of his own father. He sold them. So that you know tonight that people do sell people. People do offer people. People do destroy people before they even destroy them physically. Let's see what happened when they gave him that money. After they finished using that money to do something, what did he do?
The Mirabus of Abimelech hired thin and light persons which followed him.
Okay, he went and hired worthless people, no good people, drunkards, homeless people, violent people, evil and wicked human beings. He went and hired them for them to go about campaigning with him, talking about him, eliminating anybody, bullying people, manipulating people, convincing people. And let me tell you tonight, money was taken from other countries. Money was taken from people in this country to manipulate and win election against the will of the sovereignty of this nation. Let's see what's going to happen. Watch this. Watch this. Because there are people who just want to be connected with power. They don't care how that power look. They don't care how that power was gotten. People want to be connected with money. They want to be connected with famous people. They don't know how they become famous. They don't know how many people they've sacrificed. They don't know how many things they've done wrongly. They are interested in, oh, they won. Oh, they did this. Oh, look at the house. Oh, look at the cars. Oh, look at this. Look at them. And you don't know how they become that thing. I hope you are learning tonight. Keep reading, please, my dear.
And he went unto his father's house at Ophrah, and slew his brethren, the sons of Jerubbaal, being 70 persons, upon one stone. Notwithstanding yet Jotham, the youngest son of Jerubbaal, was left, for he hid himself.
Okay, stay there. See what happened. Listen to what happened. Why was it that 70 men were not able to run away? How was one man and few people able to overpower 70 men and slay them of his own father's children? Because they were already sacrificed inside the shrine of Baal. They've been bought and sold. That's why many Democrats can talk. Many Republicans can talk. Many independents can talk. Because they've been bought and sold. Let me share with you tonight. America is under very heavy witchcraft. Very strong witchcraft has been put over this nation. And it's going to take very heavy action of God to release this country from it. The next thing I want you to be aware of is this. When you look at the broadcast I did after the election that is called the agenda of man versus the agenda of God, or the agenda of God versus the agenda of man or humans, I said this. When I went and I asked God, what is he going to do about this guy winning the election? Having things come this way, which is not neither his permissive will nor his perfect will. This is what I heard. And the Holy Spirit is my witness. This is what I heard. I'm going to allow him, through him, every evil that has been done in America is going to be exposed. And then he said this, I am happy that Hillary is not part of this, neither Obama, neither the Bushes, neither the Reagans, because there is a group of people who want this country to blow apart. As long as they're in power, it's a group of people. They don't care. And he said this to me I mean, look at my hand is up here. The Holy Ghost is my witness. He said to me, this country is going to blow apart. This country is going to fall apart like things fall apart. That man represents what has been wrong with American history. And through him, every evil that were done against Native Americans, blacks, immigrants, the poor, the widows, the orphans, and everything that has been held back from happening for good by the politicians is going to be exposed during this man's tenure. A lot of people who are saying that I am in support of what happened will run and hide themselves. That's what I was told. And that every blood that has not been atoned for, every innocent blood that has been shed in this country is going to speak. Every slavery that was done is going to pop up. That racism will be heightened again. America will be trying to solve their local problems, that the entire world will cross their hand and be looking at us in pity. Evil, all the evil that we've been trying to hide all along as a nation will all be exposed. Please, that person that just came in, mute your phone, mute your phone. Thank you. Thank you very much for coming to the conference. See, when Abimelech and his people went about seizing power through the wrong means, through violent means, they thought it's fine. We can have our way. We now have the nation under our feet. First of all, they did not come to do it without putting witchcraft over the nation. America is under witchcraft. And that is witchcraft from different countries of the world. Turkish witchcraft is on. Arabian witchcraft is on. Russian witchcraft is on. It's all playing out. It's all playing out. And then the witchcraft of America itself is on. Read the next thing. Read the next verse. I hope, Geneva, you are looking at the time for me. Please stop me when once it's 30 minutes. Stop me.
Yes.
Continue, Miss Roslyn.
And all the men of Shechem gathered together, and all the house of Zillah, and went, and made Abimelech king by the plain of the pillar that was in Shechem.
Okay, so you see what they did. The house of Beth Milo and all the men of Shechem, a small group of people, overwhelmed the entire nation. And they made a murderer, a thief, a killer, a manipulator, a liar. They made that person a president. Someone of the worst, lowest moral depravity. How can you slay all of your father's children simply because you want power? 70 of them. Democrats were not watching. They got overpowered. The nation wasn't watching. They got beaten. Okay, let me tell you what outsiders knows about this nation. Majority of Americans are only interested in going to their job and coming back home to rest. They are not really interested in politics. Abimelech, after killing his brothers, became king. Small group of people. It wasn't the majority of Americans that make Trump president. But he knew what to say to the people, those he spoke to. He also knew that majority of Americans are gonna stay away because people are afraid. This is not the time to be afraid in America. This is the time to act. This is not the time to wait until presidential election comes for you to vote. One of the worst things about Democrats is they only vote for a president, while Republicans even will vote for the next police officer of their city. They will come out en masse to vote for a governor. Democrats do not. So why are they blaming anybody? Why are Democrats blaming anybody when they have not yet done their job? Why? Continue reading, please.
And then they told it to Jotham. He went and stood in the top of Mount Gerizim, and lifted up his voice and cried, and said unto them, Hearken unto me, ye men of Shechem.
Well, somebody ran. Only one child escaped out of the sons of Gideon, Jerubbaal. His name is Jotham, the youngest. He hid himself. And he went to Mount Gerizim and stood there. Let's hear what he said to them. Tonight, Jotham is speaking to us. Jotham is speaking to us tonight. Let's hear what he said.
Hearken unto me, ye men of Shechem, that God may hearken unto you.
Tonight, I am asking each of you, hearken unto me, so that God will hearken unto you. Listen to me, Americans. Listen to me, world. Listen to me, universe. So that the Almighty will hearken unto you. Continue.
The trees went forth on a time to anoint a king over them.
The trees in the forest decided to go and anoint one of them. The maple tree, the oak tree, the different kinds of trees had a meeting that one of them should be chosen to be a king. The trees did. This is a proverb. Continue, please.
And they said unto the olive tree, Reign thou over us.
They said to the olive tree, come and reign over us. Continue.
But the olive tree said unto them, Should I leave my fatness, wherewith by me they honor God and man, and go to be promoted over the trees?
See, he knew that, he knew, that's how some people behave too. He knew that olive, the oil is used for anointing. It's used to honor men and honor God. So why should it come to be king over the trees? Ha 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 ha. Continue.
And the tree said to the fig tree, Come thou and reign over us.
And what did the fig tree say?
But the fig tree said unto them, Should I forsake my sweetness and my good fruit, and go to be promoted over the trees?
You see, the fig tree said, whoa, I make wine, I'm sweet. Should I leave my fatness and my sweetness to come and sway over you and reign over you? And that's what some people do. A lot of people who should come out to become rulers and leaders in America and in your own nation do not want to do it. God is not happy with many of you who do not want to become the top businessmen, real righteous businessmen. Okay, thank you. Real businessmen and women, real politicians, real bankers, real attorneys. You don't want to become something in the world. You don't want to become the president of your nation. neither support a real good person who should become one. You don't want to be a senator, somebody in the House of Representatives, a judge of the High Court, or the Supreme Court, or the District Court, or whatever court, and you are waiting, and the sons of darkness, who knows who are salesmen, and deceivers, and con artists, and people who are greedy for power, for money and material resources, and to control people, greedy for leadership and for rulership, you allow them to rule over you. I want to stop here just for a second, and then we will continue.